Hey, welcome to the Valt Podcast. We are your car culture cultivators. I'm Shaun, and of course, joined today with
Joe. How's it going, everyone? And
Vijay, hey, how are you?
what up, gentlemen?
yeah, how's it going?
Good to see you. Good to see you,
Virtual
VJ.
fist pump.
VJ, I see you're back in the garage,
Yeah,
primed and ready for the summer.
yeah. I'm debating it because these are my investment cars, and I don't know if I should drive them.
Nice. Be careful of that brick wall backing them up. Joe, what do we have on the show today?
Yeah, so no special news this week. There was enough news last week for 2 weeks, so we don't have to get into it. But we'll go straight into my week. Honestly, the past 3 months, as I was saying last week, full burnout, and so this week has been great. I've had almost no detailing, which is nice. I mean, it's not nice for the business, I guess, but it's really nice for me. I really needed a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
So I did it's been a very long week. I really feel like the week's been going very slowly, which I don't like. I like when weeks go fast. But I've been doing other work too. I mean, as some of you know, I do a lot of listing work for cars and bids, and I love it. It's a really educational experience, and I really kind of enjoy doing it on my off time. So I've been doing a lot of that this week. At the shop, I hang out at the shop just in case some walk-ins show up and everything. But
there's a weird dynamic in small business where sure you appreciate when things are busy, but you really, really enjoy when you can kind of sit back and just take a breather.
Yeah.
Let it be slow. Not all the time, but once in a while it can be slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Colin's out doing on a diving trip in, I think, Switzerland or something. So he's not detailing right now. Spencer's working on a body swap that I think will maybe unveiled at Car Week, possibly. So that's the thing that...
Can we get a hint on what he's body swapping?
Yeah, it has the same engine as your E36.
Ooh.
And the body is from a Volvo.
Oh.
So that's all I'm going to tell you, because I'm not sure if he wants to divulge anything. I'll tell you off there, but I'm sure he probably would tell you too. But it's a cool car. And I'm not sure how far along he is, but I do know that it's going to be cool. So yeah, there's no one detailing but me this week. And so I've been really picking and choosing things that are easy to do and just kind of pushing things back a week just so I could breathe, which is nice. It's been good. So with that, since I'm not doing a lot of mobile work or not really commuting, the X3, even though it's out there today, I took the Mercedes wagon to Wagon Wednesday yesterday, and it was the first time in 3 weeks that I drove it, and I forgot how nice that thing is. After driving the X3 for almost a month, the wagon is just so nice. Having 45,000 extra miles over the X3,
Nice.
That thing is so solid. So it's going in next week for a really big service. I'm taking it to Oregon for a friend's wedding in July. So I'm going to go through the whole car, get everything basically mechanically perfect. I'm going to change the tires, get it ready for a road tripping, because I convinced Allie to let me take it on the road trip. So we're going to take the scenic route up to Oregon. So that might be annoying for her eventually, but I'm really excited for it. So I want to make sure the car is mechanically perfect.
Nice.
And then lastly, I don't know. I mean, going through all these marketplace finds has really made me want to experience something new and exciting. And it's making it hard to keep the M5. I know I love the M5, and every time I think about selling it, everyone convinces me not to. I don't know if I would really want to sell it.
You can't sell it because you can't replace it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
it.
I can't replace it. But so I don't know. I'm not on the edge, but I guess would love something weird. Because with E28 M5 money, I can get a weird Lotus or something shitty British that has some sort of sensification, or an Alpha.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the same as an M5.
Yeah.
And I would regret it. But I just something, I don't know.
Well, you guys have great luck. Actually, if you sold it, you guys do have great luck in finding replacement cars or even better cars. So in the BMW Mercedes world, so you might be okay.
The thing about the E28 is it's right on the cusp of affordable and easy to find. But I think it's getting to a point, just like the E39 M5 actually got to this point before the E28, which was interesting. But the E39, now it's literally impossible to find a good example. And a good example is worth a shit ton of money. So the boat is sailed on the E39s. You cannot find them anymore.
Yeah.
That are reasonable. For an E28, you can still find them kind of maybe once a month on Cars with Bids or Bring a Trailer. And it's an okay example because E28s are always just okay. They're not never in that bad of shape. And you can still get them for 30 grand, you know? So like I could sell mine off for like 30 or 35 and go buy something that I would regret for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Drive it, sell it back, and then get another M5. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably do nothing. But especially if this Leno law passes, then I'll definitely not do anything, because the whole thing, the car is, it's the only thing I hate about the car is the exhaust drags against the floor, and like there's a couple things I need to change about it.
What year is it?
It's an 88.
Okay,
All US spec E20 M5s are 88s. And I like it, but like the seat doesn't adjust correctly, so like I'm not fully comfortable in it. And there's other things that I need to fix, and so I really have to get the seat adjusting to work. Because if I can get that to work, I think I would keep this car forever.
Yeah.
I start to like lose my feeling in my back after like an hour, you know.
Yeah. But you know what? When you see it on the road, it is like class personified.
Oh, it's the best.
Right?
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's
For
the
a $30,000 car, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the best, and it's the only car to this day that I've driven that I get like huge thumbs up every single time, no matter what day or what time. I get thumbs up no matter where I am.
Yeah.
So it is a car that people love, and it's a good car. But that's my week. I'm just struggling with that stuff. But yeah, Shaun, how about you?
Perfect.
Vijay, how's your week?
It's not a lot happening this week for me. Last weekend, I paid a visit to the Indy 500 museum. You must have heard of it. It's a pretty famous museum for motorsport fans. So it's basically right at the racetrack. They've got cars spanning all of their history, all the way from early 1900s, all the way to the last year's championship winning car. And they have like special hallways dedicated to the most successful teams they had. And one of the interesting things that I came across there was, so this year during the Indy 500 qualifying, the most successful team is Penske. They had three of their cars disqualified for a technical infringement in the construction of their chassis at the back of it. There was a specific crash structure that was outside the regulations, and they got disqualified from qualifying and had to start from the back. Turns out the last year's race winning car, which is displayed at the museum, has the exact same part in the back, which is not meeting the regulations. So it's basically an illegal car that won the Indy 500 champion race last year, but they can't do anything about it now. So
Why didn't they change? Why didn't they look? If this team has a history and they didn't look, I mean, that looks sketch.
It's not an item that gives any performance advantage. It's more of like a safety or construction regulation, which they kind of breached. So yeah, they broke the regulations. They got disqualified this year, but the last year's winning car had the same thing. And it's actually displayed at the museum right now, which was...
That's classic.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's like, it kind of gives you perspective about how motorsports is. It's about gaining that unfair advantage without getting detected. It's always about pushing the rules and always being in the gray area of the rules. To be competitive, and just like the relentless fight between the engineers and the technical inspection to find that little bit edge. So that this was also like a good reminder of that. So he was nice, and I found a nice tour guide who took me. Once he found that I'm super interested in all this stuff, he just like explained and took me around the whole place and showed me a lot of things that he liked as well. So I got like a VIP treatment there. So that was fun. Otherwise, we were supposed to have a photo shoot at an airfield, which unfortunately got postponed because a lot of rain washed out the airfield, and our cars were supposed to be parked on a grass space that got all mushy, and we couldn't take it there. So it's going to happen at some later point, maybe next month, with less rain. So yeah, that's what's happening. And on the garage side, my Peugeot just had a fuel pump failure. I think it's not starting up. I checked the intake, I checked all the spark plugs, which are fine. So I guess the fuel pump is needing replacement. So I just towed it to a shop nearby to get it checked out.
Surprising that there's a shop in your area that would take your
Yeah, it took me a while, but I found a British guy. He's like totally British. He works on all sorts of obscure and interesting cars. He had a Bentley Turbo R, which he was working.
Oh well, yeah, okay. Well, you're good. You're good hands then.
Yeah.
That's way worse than a Peugeot.
That guy's life sounds miserable. He works
Yeah.
on Bentley Turbo Rs and Peugeots.
and stuff sitting there. So yeah, they also don't rip you off at all. I got my Cayman clutch done there. Like no bullshit about doing anything else. They just do exactly what you ask them to do. No upselling or haggling or anything like that. So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I appreciate a shop that doesn't upsell, but there is a limit. So like, for example, like if I'm dealing with like a weird power surging issue on the Mercedes that I need to get sorted, and I think I know what it is, but at that shop, if I brought it to them and said, hey, replace this, they wouldn't like try to dig into something and try to upsell. And so like I'm like constantly trying to, it's like almost I'm diagnosing the issue and then I'm telling people to do that. So I kind of do like enjoy a little bit of the upselling if it's like a good upsell, because like they're at least doing the due diligence to try to make that extra revenue, and they're finding things that maybe I'm not seeing that actually do need to get fixed. But I mean, there's a limit, obviously. But it's apples and oranges. It's nice to know that there's people out there that are going to take advantage.
Yeah, and the good thing was when I gave my Cayman to them, they finished the entire clutch replacement job in just under a day. So it was like in the morning and car was out in the evening. So that was so convenient.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Shaun, how's your week been?
Week has been good. I actually, as I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, that my M2 got lightly kissed in a parking lot. Somebody kind of backed into it, so I got it back from the shop this week, and I've been a freaking madman in that thing, just driving it around. Especially after our topic last week about the new M2 and it only being an automatic option. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this manual this week. So
Yeah, it's a rare bird now.
Yeah.
Well, it already was, but it's even rarer now.
Yeah. So trying to stay out as much trouble as I can with that, but it has been quite fun. And I also had an interesting conversation. So with my son, shocked the hell out of me. So me and my son is 17 or 18, excuse me. He just turned 18, and we talk about everything. And, I try to give him to car shows. And, when he was younger, he was all in, I'm coming to all the, some of the Valt stuff and some of the things outside of Valt. But, he hit his teenage years and he's like, I'm not, too much into going to car shows or whatever. I'm like, okay. So randomly, we're just talking this weekend and he's like, I want to go to an F1 race. And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, F1's at Circus de Americas or whatever in Texas.
Yeah, Austin.
In Austin, whatever month it is. And I'm like, dude, we've never talked about F1 races. He goes, yeah, I love F1. It's what I watch. I'm like, wait. I've never seen you watch an F1 race. And then he starts talking about all the drivers and tracks and everything. And he's literally just blowing my mind. I'm like, dude, we just had an F1 watch party here at the warehouse a couple of weeks ago. You should have came. I told you to come.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was pretty shocked. So yeah, my son is apparently the biggest F1 fan that I didn't even know about.
So are you going to Dakota?
Job recently, using social media especially to sell to the younger generation of fans. So they're having that great outreach to the younger generations through all their. Now they're coming out with a new movie this month, which is sponsored by Apple, and they have a lot of digital collaborations with brands, and they want to partner with Disney. They have the Vegas race, so it's definitely being targeted well at the next generation for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously F1 is a great spectator sport. I've seen an F1 race before, and it's pretty awesome. But to do the watch party that we had here, it's also good. Like, it's a good TV sport because of the commentary, all the things that are going on around. I actually enjoyed the watch party we did.
To be honest, I think due to the nature of what a race is, like if you're parked at a racetrack, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's like, I mean, the experience of an F1 track is cool because like it's like almost like Car Week personified. There's a million people all over the place. There's vendors everywhere. There's fun cars, unveilings, merch, all that, you name it. But then like you're sitting and watching the race and you see like one straight for like 2 hours. You know?
Yeah.
So like I kind of do prefer an F1 race on a screen. And like maybe like I think maybe the way to do it would be like to do like, because I know like the F1 has like qualifyings and all this stuff, so I almost wonder if is to go to the qualifying races in person, experience the cars, you know, at full tilt, trying to get the qualifying laps, and then go back to your hotel or go back to a bar and watch the race there, because then you're getting the experience. There's less people, and then you're also watching the full race in its entirety and getting the commentary at the same time. I don't know. I've never been to any of those. I've never been to a race besides historics and like, you know, like the vintage stuff at Sonoma, like Velocity. So I really don't know. I mean, you guys can probably comment more about it, but I just think like watching a race on TV is a little better. But I don't know.
I can see that. I mean, I like everything. Yeah, right. Because everything's going by so fast, it's almost a blur. So you're having to
Especially
look at the standings to actually see where everything is. But I mean, the great thing about being, you know, obviously at One Live is, you know, just the experience, just the closeness you get to, you know, not only the cars, the drivers, you know, the paddock area, all the promotions that they do in there. So, I mean, when it comes to, I mean, hell, just promoting your sport, I don't think anyone does it better than F1, NASCAR, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Vijay, what do you think? Is it better to be at a race in person? You've been to a lot of them.
I've been to F1 twice now, both at Dakota racetrack. What I felt was, if you just want to follow the thing, you know, properly without losing out of the action, it's obviously better to watch at home, because the whole F1 TV experience is really dialed in right now. You can have like the timings pulled up, you can have onboards, you can have the choice of commentary, everything. If you want to actually follow the race, it's obviously better to stay home. But being at trackside, they've improved a lot of things recently, because most of the corners now have like absolutely massive screens where you can follow all the things if you want. And you have these free iPod or like Walkman things that they hand out to you. You can just plug that in and hear all of the commentary as well while you're sitting trackside.
That's cool.
So even if you are in the midst of a lot of noise from the fans around, you can plug that in and hear all of the commentary and follow things. There's a big screen in front. But like, as things get more crowded and as F1 becomes more popular, the whole trackside experience for the general admission thing is degrading very fast, in my experience. So people in GA always are like in super crowded spots and under the hot sun, and food is 10 times the price it should be. They're selling like a glass of beer for like $20, $15. So it's pretty insane, the kind of rip-off situation that's going on with F1 at the track. But like, it's definitely something you have to experience once, but I definitely recommend getting like a grandstand, not a general admission seat, because that would be a lot of walking around and like sitting in the hot sun and all that stuff. So getting a grandstand would kind of solve a lot of those problems. And if you're willing to spend that kind of money on the food and stuff, you'll be having a good experience, I think.
I mean, same with racing. That's like the one like cancerous problem with the car week, is that everything is getting hyper expensive and hyper crowded. And it makes me like, I mean, we'll talk about it later as it gets closer, but like Valt is doing it like the right way this year, where we're going to events that we're getting media passes to. We're doing all the free events. We have a house away from the crazy shit, so that we can enjoy like we can enjoy car week, but we can also be part of like, you know, a group instead of like constantly moving all over the place. Like, we're doing it differently this year. We'll talk about it later. Okay, and that brings us into the member Discord finds. So if you're not familiar, Valt has a Patreon, link down in the description below if you'd like to support us. As a member, you get access to the Discord, which we post marketplace finds in. We also do a bunch of stuff, you know, like what we were just talking about, F1 viewing parties. We go on drives, dinners, poker nights. Just in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff, actually.
Our chat is always popping.
We're you know, a lot of people inundate us with marketplace finds, some of them good, some of them bad. We have some legendary ones this week, so that'll be fun. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, link down in the description below for the Patreon and the member Discord. But without further ado, we'll get straight into the Discord finds, and the first one is one of those legendary ones.
And make no mistake that these are always bad. There's definitely more bad than good.
Yeah, well, it's more
fun.
It's more comical. Sometimes there's gems in there.
Dude,
you have to look. So speaking of one of the gems, Wesley gave us this 2025 driving leather recliner. It's in Danville. Yeah. So it's $600, which honestly is kind of expensive, but it's a recliner. Let's get this guy's penis out of the frame. So it's a recliner that I guess has like some sort of scooter on it. But like, I just think it's hilarious that this exists. Wesley found it. It's typical Wesley algorithm. But yeah, it's in Danville too, so it's kind of local.
Like, how can you be sure it's a 2025 model year?
Yeah, who knows? There's a lot of creases and leather upholstery there, so there's a lot of wear. So I don't know. Who knows? But that's the first find. Short and sweet. Needed to just blast that out there.
Is this what everybody in Danville is spending their millions on?
Yeah.
Developing driving leather recliners.
It's the old money.
Yeah.
I want some Hermes leather for it to be $600.
Yeah.
I feel like a king. You could drive. You could just ride to Starbucks or wherever you go in Danville for this. But that's the first find. Number 2. I think this is more of an interesting car. So this is a 1989 Toyota Master Ace Surf 4-wheel drive van. What makes it interesting is this is dirt cheap for one of these. I think these usually go for like 20 G's. And it's a manual, which is cool.
Nice.
And look at this picture. Like, it's really hard to tell, but like this, especially like for my phone, but like this is like cavernous. Like this thing is huge inside.
Yeah. That's solid interior too.
Yeah, it's a cool car for $9,000. It's like a fun experience. This is one of those cars. I wouldn't trade for the M5. Obviously, I wouldn't buy it either. But it's one of those cars that I was looking through this last night and was like, honestly, like there's so much out there that is exciting and interesting. This isn't really for me, but it's just something that's like weird and different, you know.
Yeah.
That I kind of want to experience at some point before it's too late and I'm too old or can't buy cars or who knows, like small guys get too hard. But like, you know,
Before I die, I'm buying this Toyota.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the second find. Vijay, any thoughts on the van?
No, I mean, it looks like an egg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a special one for you at the end, so stay tuned for that.
Interior's sick. I like the high cabin.
Yeah,
It's like a,
it's usable.
Yeah.
Yeah, very usable. You can live in there if you wanted. I think this one's a mid-engine. I don't know. Just based off of this hump, if you look at it, like the hump in the middle for viewers at home, if I'm not like syncing this correctly, there's like a big hump right here.
Yeah.
That, to me, looks like the engine's right there, but who knows? Wesley or someone comment down below because Wesley found this one too. So number 3. Actually, let's go to number 4 because I think Shaun would like this one. So this is a E39 5 Series 540 wagon in the right blue with, in my opinion, I like those wheels. I know probably most people don't, but that's just like iconic 540 wheel. Has an M5 front bumper for $9,000.
This is a sick. What's the mileage on that?
It is 126.
Oh, that's not
low.
bad.
That's low.
Yeah.
540 wagon. So it's not an M Sport. You can tell from the interior. It's a base 540, but it's still cool. And it's the right color. It wouldn't take that much money to get this to like a sport pack.
Could you do an M Sport on the 540 wagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, comment down below. I'm not sure. But I think you can get. I think the bumper is different for an M Sport because I'm pretty sure M Sports have that single X exhaust instead of the dual tips that are hidden under the bumper. I don't know. I think these are cool. Oh, this is not the right one, but I think these are cool. I don't. I know, like, I'm kind of like a broken record with this. I really don't like the V8 cars from this era that aren't M5s. That's because I started driving E39s out of an M5.
Yeah.
So after the S62, an M60 or M62 just feels like kind of like dog shit, you know, just comparatively. But like, I mean, these are great cruisers, and I'm the only one that thinks that, you know. So,
Dude, I had one of these, and it was so fun, and it was so fast. And only because for the fact that it's like a wagon, like a 2000s wagon, to be this fast is pretty crazy.
yeah, 285 horsepower.
Yeah, it moves.
The V8, the power band is the right kind of power band to make it exciting. Yeah, so for $9,000, this is actually a really good price, unless he's hiding stuff. You know, I think this on like Carson Birds or Bring a Trailer with the right photos would probably do like 12 or 13, 15 maybe.
Yeah.
Especially if you go sport, you get the sport seats, change the wheels to M parallels.
Take
maybe get an exhaust.
that limo tint off.
Yeah. Go full greenhouse. Yeah, that's how you do it. So yeah, that's the third find. The fourth one is this
Oh my
this
God.
insanity thing. So this is a C4 Corvette, but it was period modified twin turbo. And check this out, like this thing is this.
Look at that setup.
The lag on this thing is probably ridiculous. I'm trying to get a bet. Look at the hood scoop.
Yeah.
like that is just insane.
The description says, "I don't know a lot about turbos, but
Yeah, which is exactly the car you want. But just like looking at this is just so crazy. A disaster, of a car. Like, look at these. Look at that. God. But anyway, it's like almost like it was a full afterthought.
Do you know how geek that person was when they finished that hood?
Yeah. So like if you look at this, turbos are above the intake manifold. Probably one of the worst cars to work on ever. You have to remove all of that tubing, all the turbos.
the description says he removed the turbos to replace spark plugs."
Yeah, terrible. I could just imagine the turbo lag on this thing. But once it goes, maybe it might push you back in your seat. But I don't know. Crazy car, crazy find. I'm not sure who found this, but crazy thing that exists, and it shouldn't really exist. But for $12,000 or whatever this is.
Is that a manual as well?
It's an automatic.
Automatic, okay.
For $7,000, you're getting something that might win Redwood.
Yeah.
If it gets to Redwood, it might win. So that's kind of fun. And exactly, it's a Callaway, but on like a Walmart budget or something. Yeah. And then the last one is a Vijay special. This is a French car, which is why it's a Vijay special. It's a 1992 Citroen XM exclusive, whatever that means. I think these are interesting cars to look at. And while I was looking at this car, I realized that the interior, in my opinion, might be completely borrowed from the Alfa Milano. Mm-hmm. If you look at the leather quality, the buttons, even the way the dashboard is laid out, past the steering wheel where the gauges are, looks almost identical to an Alfa Milano. Vijay, have you experienced one of these?
No, but I think this was the most advanced car when it came out at the time, with all of the suspension, visibility, and it is supposed to be like the last true Citroen before it became like just another company that made cars using existing platforms from its sister companies and so on, from under the ownership of the bigger conglomerate. They had the adjustable suspension, and it supposedly had the best riding car of all time description from the reviews and stuff. But obviously it's desperately unreliable and breaks down all the time. And people were so pissed off, the owners were so pissed off with this car. After buying it, within a few years, they were so unreliable that they did some crazy stunts in front of Peugeot dealerships and stuff to get them to be accountable for the unreliability of this whole thing. But yeah, I find it really cool, and if you can afford it, it's a really special thing. Yeah.
If they were just selling it from the looks from the inside, right, this would be oh man, this is a nice car. But yeesh. That's some interesting design going on over there.
I mean, that side profile.
Look at
you
that.
see that down the road, you're like, what in the hell is this?
It's like a wedge / wagon /
It's everything. It's everything. And there's a couple buttons on the steering wheel. I don't know. I think this is cool. I wouldn't own one, but if we go back to the own, drive, delete, I would drive the shit out of this before I give it back.
That's for sure.
You wouldn't get far though.
Yeah, I wouldn't get far. It is a hatchback too, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything. It's in, what's the guy from Kansas? I don't know. Comment down below if you know it. Well, maybe we'll keep it. But yeah, those are the marketplace finds. Citroens are cool. I wouldn't own one. Actually, I might own one. Maybe one day, but I wouldn't own this one. So link down in the description below on how to join the Patreon and how to add things to the member Discord finds or be part of the membership crew. We'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. We do a bunch of stuff all the time, a bunch of stuff coming up, especially with the summer heating up now. We're going to be doing a bunch of things, so it'll be really fun.
And thank you to the members who send this stuff to us.
Yep.
It's always fun.
It's always a lot of fun to look through. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes we get too many, and it takes me hours to get to pick and choose the right ones.
Yeah.
But
I just saw the description. It has that terrible PRV V6 engine that's in the DeLorean as well.
It's the Maserati V6.
No, it's the PRE Peugeot Renault Volvo V6.
But yeah, Those are the marketplace fines.
Speaking of such, this Mini has been getting a lot of run on our shows. It's
Yeah, I
been in
know.
the
It's
background for a while.
It's like the main. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I need to change it up soon.
I'm just afraid to start it.
944 turbo is collecting dust, or not a turbo, I guess, but it's collecting dust. Maybe we should put it.
If I start it, it's gonna break.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that brings us into today's main topic. So I don't know if you weren't familiar with it. Vijay doesn't seem like he was familiar with it, but I guess the internet or parts of the internet went down today. I was kind of just minding my own business, doing my thing, and then suddenly I got all these texts from my friends saying, "Hey, were you affected by the Cloudflare outage, or were you affected by the Google thing?" And I'm like, "No. What are you talking about? Like, what do you?" And then I started working a little bit, and then I started getting like long load times, and then things stopped working. I'm like, "Oh shoot, I'm affected too." So I guess like the internet went down, or some sort of cloud function stopped working today. Well, Vijay, were you affected at all by this?
I wasn't affected because this mostly was down for like Google products, and most of my tools at work are like Microsoft based, and these were affecting things involving the Google cloud based products. So all of their AI based coding, things like involving Gemini and Gmail and all of these things. I also heard OpenAI was not down, so ChatGPT was still up, I guess. So it was mostly Google products, which did not affect my own work. So I think it didn't have much of an impact on me. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I was getting texts left and right saying like, "Yeah, I can't work right now. Like, just can't do anything."
It's pretty crazy that people are so dependent on this now.
Yeah.
I had to take a drive to.
They're thinking to this.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say I had to take a drive down to Vacaville, California this morning. So, which is on the outskirts of the Bay Area. I wouldn't necessarily call Vacaville the Bay Area, although they like to be. But anyway, they don't need internet out there, so I guess I didn't miss it.
Yeah, we're gonna get. That's good.
They don't.
Get some hate in the comments for that one. But anyway,
Sorry,
yeah,
Vacaville.
it made me realize how fragile everything is. You know,
Totally.
Like a simple internet, like almost like a flick of the switch, can cause like the entire economy, at least in the Bay Area, to collapse. And yeah.
When I'm at work, like, and if the internet is down, freaking everybody freaking just panics. They're like, "We can't do anything," and I'm like, "You're right. We actually can't do anything without the internet."
Yeah. So, really, you think the typical thing? My next response would be like, time to go off grid. What kind of car would you take off grid? But instead, I just wanted to make it open. If you had an entire day completely unannounced, you woke up going to work, but the internet stopped working, and so unannounced, you had a full day to do whatever you wanted because you couldn't work. What would you do and why? It doesn't even need to be about cars. Just it can be if you want it to be, but like, what would you end up doing with this day? You wake up kind of annoyed because you have to go to work, and then an hour later you'd realize that the entire internet's down, the economy's down 40% because no one's producing AI like videos of gorillas taking cocaine or whatever they do now. And like, have you seen those? I've been getting a lot of, I don't know if this is just my algorithm, but
Your algorithm is trash.
I've been getting a lot of like AI videos of gorillas in vlogs saying, "Hey man, like what's up? I'm about to take some cocaine or something." And they like take cocaine and then they go crazy, and then they're like stealing cars and like fighting humans. I don't know. It's been crazy. I have a terrible. I mean, that's the least of my concerns with an algorithm. But
it went from the 100 men versus a gorilla to the gorillas now.
I guess
binging on cocaine.
Yeah. So
You know about this? The 100 gorilla versus 100 guys versus gorilla.
Yeah, versus a gorilla. Yeah, dude.
who would win? Who do you think would win?
Dude, 100 men versus one gorilla. Dude, a freaking 100 men, it would freaking murder a gorilla.
Now comment down below what you think. I don't know.
But somebody's gonna get pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually, some people are gonna be pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. So what are you doing with your free day that was unannounced, and why are you doing it? So does anyone want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Dude, I would say, I mean, obviously we're a car podcast, but I would honestly, I would have to hop in the car. I mean, again, when the internet is out for us, it's out for everybody. And since nobody can function, like businesses close, you can't pay for anything. You can't do this. You can't do that. So it's a perfect time, when nobody's out on the road. It's just to get on the road and just freaking drive your ass off. So
Anywhere in particular you want to go?
I'd probably head up to Napa.
Napa.
Yeah, Napa County.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah.
Vijay, what about you? What are you doing with your unannounced free day?
Yeah, I'll probably just drive up to Point Reyes and touch grass, I guess. And then maybe just gather in a parking lot and just open cars' hoods and just look at each other and talk about cars.
Basically, it's a cars and coffee without social media.
Other coffee and you can just talk for hours in a parking lot, just gather around and then just a bunch of guys looking at the engine bay of a car and just chatting. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'd probably do the same thing Shaun would do. I would want to go for a drive. There's this highway called Highway 4 near my house that is kind of a sketchy, terrible highway. But if you keep driving...
that murders everybody.
Yeah.
Hella people every year.
It's a terrible place.
Yeah.
But if you continue... if you keep going, if you go on Highway 4 east and just keep driving for an hour and a half, 2 hours...
Yeah.
You end up going into full-on farm country. The Highway 4 turns into a back road.
Yeah.
And you kind of follow along the Sacramento River. You go through all these crazy areas. And I've never really explored that area. I made rallies to go through those routes, but I've never actually done them. So I want to explore that area because I think it'd be kind of an interesting spot to go, especially with no internet.
Yeah. Well, just when you hit Stockton, just know you got to turn around because you've gone too far.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's exactly what I mean. You have to be careful on Highway 4 because there's a lot of shit everywhere. But if you get into the back roads area, it's good.
Yeah, I guess I'll be out of luck because right now I'm in the Midwest. There'll be a lot more stuff to do if you're in California. If I'm offline here in the Midwest, there's not much. To do.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate, much like even during the pandemic is, being able to get out. It's just a connection that you have with people, it's nice to separate and when you leave your phone at home or, you can't access the internet, it's nice to just connect and have conversations with people. You appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, this kind of sprung off of the Cloudflare Google thing. So comment down below what you would do. I'm sure car people will do car things, but I was just curious to hear everyone's thoughts. And without further ado, we'll go into the scenario, which is once again an own drive delete. I've been liking this. Topic. Today I chose 3 classes of cars that are, kind of niche car things that maybe regular car people wouldn't necessarily care about.
Sure.
I don't think car people in general might not care about. So we'll go straight into that. So the own drive delete cars this week are K cars in general, convertibles in general, and affordable sports cars. So that's BRZ, stuff like that.
Okay. Mid-level sports cars.
So that's a niche brand. If you think about sports cars, everyone wants an 11, right? So that's an easy thing you want to own. But would you, owning a BRZ over any convertible or any K car might be different. So who wants to go first with that?
I'll take it. So, easy for me is deleting convertibles. I hate convertibles. I don't understand the point is you're oh, the weather's nice, the sun is beaming on you, and then, you can't have AC, so it's super, super hot. It's miserable. So yeah,
it's true. When you're in traffic, it's annoying.
Dude, convertibles are the worst. Yeah. So yeah, those instantly gone. Drive. I would say maybe the the mid-level sports car. These mid-level sports cars. It's just. Technology and cars are just so good. Is you don't appreciate how good, how well some of these cars are made and the driving experience that you're actually getting out of them. I would definitely drive mid-level affordable sports cars, but owning is K cars all the way. Yeah, I'll take K cars are just, they're not only fun to drive, they're cool to look at. when you have them out, they're a great story. People don't know what they are. Most people don't know what they are, and so I would definitely own a K car.
Vijay, what about you?
Yeah, I'm 100% with Shaun on the convertible side. I have absolutely zero interest in convertibles because I never want to be seen so open inside a car. I don't want my, hair to be like blasted by all of the wind and dust. Like for 5 minutes in the convertible, it gets so tiring and so annoying. And the worst part is like I love cars with good exhaust noises, but I enjoy induction noise a lot more than exhaust. And any convertible above, let's say, 45 miles per hour, all you hear is wind noise, and it just totally ruins all of the induction noise that comes from the engine, which I don't like. So if you have a hardtop coupe, you can always hear induction, and if you want a little bit of the exhaust, just roll down the windows. Convertibles have extra failure modes. They just leak water. They can just get cut open by thieves to steal stuff from you. They have I just have no interest in convertibles. They have buffeting on highways, makes the car feel cheap and rattly. Yeah, I don't like convertibles in any way, so I just gotta delete it. My Beat has a hardtop and it's never coming off because I just don't want it to be a convertible.
I think convertibles just age everybody 20 years. So that's how you look in your convertible.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I get it. What are you driving? What are you deleting? Or what are you driving and what are you owning? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, owning affordable sports cars is the cop-out answer. I'm going to be different than all you, completely different than both of you. I'm going to own a convertible. And the reason
he wants
why,
that stupid Elante.
No, that's not why. There's two specific cars that I'm thinking of. One, in both cars could be easily refuted because they have coupe versions. But one is the base Boxster, and it's the same reason why Vijay's car is so good. But in a base Boxster, the intake on a convertible, and on every other car, but in the convertible specifically, is right next to your ear. So on the left side. So when you get into when it comes on the cam, the flat six, which has like no power, opens up and you just hear it. And that car is just for back roads. So you're not going fast enough to feel the wind noise. Driving home, horrible. Yep. I get it. It sucks. But an LC500 convertible, I guarantee you most of that goes away and you're getting extremely luxurious, very stylish, fantastic experience that I want. And I think if I'm going to be picking an LC500, it might as well be a convertible because the soft top is probably good enough anyway. So I'm going to own the convertible, which is unlike, it's weird. It's a weird answer, but that's what I'm going to stick with this time.
The convertible Boxer in your like 20s is like, when you hit your 30s, that's when you're like, ooh, I've upgraded to a Subaru station wagon.
Yeah. I mean, a Boxster is a great backroads car if you get past the like preconceived notions behind it. Just like a Subaru, I'm going to be that person today, I guess. But like Subarus are great cars if you can get past the notion of the Subaru experience of the ownership, the vibe around people with Subarus. Like it's a weird. I never fully understood it, but like I've kind of always wanted a Subaru, and I've refrained from getting one because all my friends would make fun of me.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I don't mean to cut you off, but who can't miss, or convertibles that can't miss, I would say are American convertibles, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Oh yeah, those
and even some of the 80s convertibles.
And I think they're always better than the coupes.
Yeah,
because
Americans,
because they're all rattle traps anyway. So like without the top, there's less the rattle. I guess
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drive a K car because first of all I can't fit in them. So driving them for one time would be fine. I'm thinking I'm gonna delete affordable sports cars because to be completely honest with you, like if I want to own a Civic Si, I'd rather or like a BRZ, I'd rather just like save for like a couple more years and go Type R, because that's like in my opinion the Type R is above mid-level sports car, right?
But it's still an affordable sports car.
Yeah,
right?
I guess. I mean,
yeah.
it's hard. It's a hard one. I mean, this is pretty vague. I came up with this. It's pretty vague, I guess. But I think I'm going to delete affordable sports cars just because I think there are better versions of basically the same thing around. If you can save a little bit more, if you could splurge a little bit. So I'm going to own the convertible. I'll drive the K car, and then I'm going to delete all affordable
sports cars, which might give me.
What do you guys think about 911s that are cabriolets? Like, what does it say about the owners? Like 911 cabriolets, cabs.
Oh, I mean that's like the worst. I mean, a 911 convertible is like someone who, I mean, the new ones. I don't know about the old ones, but the new ones, the people who buy them, in my opinion, are like new-ish real estate agents that have just sold like a house that was over $1 million, and so with their $20,000 commission, they put like $15,000 down on a house on a car, and then like in 3 years can barely afford the payment still. That's what I'm thinking about now.
It seems like they always overdo it, right? I know that type because they always overdo it, not with just any convertible or any Porsche convertible, but it's always like the Turbo S.
Yeah, it's the people it's the people who bring them to the gym.
Like, why would you spend all that money on a Turbo S convertible?
911 Turbo S, matte wrapped, huge wheels, red interior.
Yeah.
Only drive to
the iconic design, right? You have to have that continuous roof line to have the 911 be its own amazing design. And when you chop it off fully for like a stupid roof that is convertible, it just totally deletes the look of the 911. It has to have that roof line all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even you can get away with a Targa. A Targa's good. Yeah, Targa's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be it for the podcast. We're about to lose our camera. So anything else before we close out?
I'm good, man. We're good. Appreciate you guys for tuning in every week. We're like 100 and
this is episode 121.
21 shows in, so appreciate it.
Yep. And next week, Vijay will be in person with us, and he's going to be with us for a whole month. So it'll be really, really fun.
Cool. Let's grind it out.
We're looking forward to doing that.
Good to have you back.
So back in the flesh. So we'll see you next week in person for another episode of the Valt podcast. Until then, see you later.